Oh my gosh. File this one under I told you so. This is ridiculous. New York Post reports New York Police Department Commissioner Dermot Shea blames bail reform for 2020 crime spike. Bob and I have just a few minutes left for one last article here, and he had a good he jumped on this. So let me just read the paragraph opening here for people who aren't familiar. A sharp rise in crime citywide, excuse me, a sharp rise in citywide crime since 2020 began was sparked by New York's new bail reform laws, which took away a judge's discretion to hold repeat and possible violent offenders behind bars. New York Police Department Commissioner Dermot Shea said at a press conference Friday. So those of you who aren't familiar, the wonderful central planner Democrat types in New York City went ahead, and I had the list. I don't think I have the list right now. I should. Shoot. There's a full list of things that you no longer will get in trouble for in New York City. Just like larceny, manslaughter, all sorts of stuff, petty crime, all of it. So,
Well, in California, they have if you have to steal over $700.
I think it's 950.
$950. You can walk in a store. You can take out whatever merchandise as long as it doesn't go beyond the threshold of $950. You're okay.
Yeah, the
You're
cops
not
won't.
gonna be lay off. They're
Now,
not
for
gonna
those of
arrest
you, for those of you at home who don't believe this, in fact, I'll just type it in: California 950 law. I'm sure it'll come up. Here we go. Oh, what do you know? California's Prop 47 leads to rise in shoplifting, thefts, criminal activity across the state.
Imagine that.
Who guessed? Who knew?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna quickly lightning through do these headlines, and then I'm gonna let you do pull up what you've got. Here's a fun.
I've got the same. I got the same one.
Oh, did you hear his interview?
I didn't hear it. I just read.
New York Post reports ridiculous reform forces New York Police Department to ask feds to catch serial New York City bank robber. This guy's name is Gerard Woodbury. Gerard. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Let me. Oh, okay. 18 days after his alleged crime spree began, Woodbury finally turned himself into the Manhattan Criminal Court building. "I'm Woodbury," he told the court worker. "I'm the one that's been robbing these banks." He later confessed to all 6 heists, law enforcement said. Then he says down here, Woodbury had expressed amazement after he was released without bail after the 4th cash grab, saying as he retrieved his belongings from a Clerk Police headquarters, "I can't believe they let me out." And the reason they let him out is because he didn't use a gun. He wrote down on a piece of paper, "I'm robbing your bank, give me all your money." Because it wasn't a violent crime, he gets to go with no bail. And so he went and robbed 5 or 6 banks in 18 days. Chaos. Here's this one: manslaughter, arson, hate crimes. See all the crime suspects in New York's now get. See all the crimes suspects in New York now gets released. Oh, so this is where the. Here we go. Here's the list of crimes. I'm not going to read them all, but people who are at home who don't believe that this is actually happening. How the heck do I get this thing out of the way? Oh, jeez. Nope. Christ, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is second degree. Okay, burglary, robbery, criminal sale of controlled substance, using a child to commit a controlled substance crime, criminal sale, criminal injection, criminal prescription, assault, aggravated assault, vehicular assault, hate crime, menacing, just like vehicular manslaughter, unlawful, everything. You imagine it, they're letting you off for it. 3rd, 4th, 5th degree arson. Just larceny, all of it. Oh, there we go. Insurance fraud. Ooh. Bob? I just had a great business idea.
Let's go to California.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even halfway down this list. Look at this.
There's hundreds of them.
I'm just scrolling. Okay, so what have you got there? Obviously, this is backfiring so badly. What have you got?
Well, I would suggest that the listeners go, if they want to see how a government responds to crimes, go watch the video Seattle Dying.
Seattle dying. Oh yeah, that video. Google the phrase Seattle dying. You'll see the video.
It'll take you about 45 minutes or an hour, but it's worth the watch. But going back to New York City, so they're blaming the bail reforms for the crime spike. And the reason they came up with the bail reforms is because people were getting arrested and they couldn't afford to make their bail.
Yeah.
So they let them out.
They changed the rules.
They changed the rules. And so they go back out and they commit another crime. Actually, the overall, let's see, murders. Well, there's a good part to this. That's not all the police department's fault. He said either we forgot how to police New York City, or there's a correlation with the bail laws. Murders are down so far this year, which is good.
Okay.
Has counted 10 in the city so far for 2020, compared to 20 in the same period of 2019. But overall, crime rate is up 11%. CompuStat data through January 19th shows in raw numbers the police count 5,443 serious crimes this year, up from 4,542 in the same period of 2019. So how's the bail reform working for you?
What is going on in America? What are people thinking? What?
Well, they're thinking in New York, if you buy a big gulp, you should go to jail.
Well,
you probably couldn't make bail for that. No, I'm saying that in jest.
It's not on the list.
It is not.
What if there's a larger bail for having a big gulp, too large of a sugar drink? Oh man,
if you do the crime, then you should be arrested. You should go through the process. Maybe they're coming from the perspective, well, if you let these people out, then the state doesn't have to pay for them. So that reduces tax. But that's not correct, because the more crimes they commit, the more times they're going to be in there. So they're coming back anyway.
Just like Gerard Woodbury. He got arrested 5 or 6, or no, I guess he got away all this. Regardless, the amount of chaos that causes in your city cannot be more valuable than just doing the normal thing.
Right. There was a homeless person in Seattle, and if you watch the video, he had committed over 100 crimes, from assault, shoplifting, but they wouldn't prosecute him. And if you go in there, you'll see there is a long list of folks. You know, if you don't hold people accountable for their actions, then they're not going to be accountable.
And you know what's the most frustrating part of this? And then we'll kind of wrap this up. Actually, I'll give you the final word on this. These are ripple effects. This isn't just contained in California and New York City. Did you know after the Chiefs won the football game against the Titans, the AFC Championship game, there was that gun shooting situation at that bar off 40 Highway, Club 9.
Pulse.
Pulse 9 or 9 Pulse.
Club,
whatever,
something like
whatever it was. The district attorney of Kansas City, the head lawyer for our city, is refusing to prosecute. And you look at the person who did the shooting that got arrested, this person has a criminal record. This person is involved in violent gun crimes. And that same district attorney has let this guy off and won't prosecute. And that is a very, very clear example of what happens when we're, like we said in an episode earlier, the Kansas City Chiefs did not win the Super Bowl by trying to be fair and be gentle and include everyone and not hurt anyone's feelings and do things that hurt the traditionally, historically oppressed people. No. The Chiefs want the best of the best here, the best of the best there, and the best of the best there, and they have the best ecosystem that wins a championship. We can't allow this in Kansas City to have a district attorney who's soft and says, well, I don't want to prosecute that guy. He comes from a class of people who have historically been oppressed, and blah, 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 and dotted all that. And now he's 2 violent gun crimes, people dead, and
lives destroyed. Families never have graduations, never have weddings, never have. There's such an impact, and we look. There's in Kansas City. Well, actually, in Kansas City, Missouri, the mayor is trying to work out a legislation on gun control to make it illegal for I don't remember it exactly.
It's some type of criminal felons to have guns.
Yeah,
People with a criminal
I,
history. I don't know the
but
specifics though.
it's basically eliminating guns, and not really addressing the issue. You know, we live in a state where St. Louis is known for the largest murder rate in the United States, and we're in the Midwest. So as Ryan stated, all of that stuff filters through from one state to the other, and I see the answers. There was a representative, a congressman, a few years ago that said, you know, we're going to have midnight basketball. I believe his name was Emmanuel Cleaver, and we're gonna give them something to do. And I'm all for giving folks something to do, but midnight basketball—that's the best you can come up with. And then they had the issues on the area and on the plaza, which is a pretty exclusive area in our community here, where they had to there's a curfew because of all the violence, and a lot of it was kids not being properly supervised. But there's a more of an answer than midnight basketball.
Right. Yeah.
So as Forrest Gump said, that's about all I got to say about that.
Yeah. So New York City, get your act together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we'll keep you up to date because this is gonna pop up again. You know that what's his name, Gerald Woodbury, is not the last guy that we're gonna see who gets in trouble with this stuff. So,
absolutely not.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Catch some of our other episodes. We'll see you later. Thanks. My name is Ryan Derks. I'm running from Missouri's 5th Congressional District, and I approve this message.